Hi everybody, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the Illumined Guru. Happy 2018. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful holiday and an amazing new year. Energies are certainly kicking into gear. There's a lot of movement. I think a lot of people are needing to self-care. There's, I know on the East Coast, everyone's coughing and sick and sniffling. And so make sure you self-care now. And really, this is a time to go within and to work on your projects and to self-focus, self-care. It's going to be a little slow ramp up over the next few weeks, but we've got a lot of home family energy, like I said, from this Cancer full moon that just rang in with the new year last night. And we are having the opportunity to really nurture ourselves, nurture our emotional body. So for those of you who are newly subscribed, thanks for subscribing and welcome to the channel. We were previously the Twin Flame family, and now the Twin Flame family is under the Illumined Guru umbrella. And so anyhow, if you guys are still liking the Twin Flame family Facebook page, because I see the new likes every day, that page is no longer active. So you have to follow the Illumined Guru to get all the updates. So it's facebook.com/the-Illumined-Guru. And for those of you who aren't as familiar with me, I'm a soul coach and intuitive advisor. I'm helping twin flames as well as those along the ascension journey, helping you to clear blocks and really move forward, make forward strides in your union with yourself, with your twin flame, understand this journey better, and help you navigate it so that you can get into surrender and joy and get out of some of the mucky and murkiness. So we will address the first week of my Twin Flame 3-week intensive, which is basically like a boot camp for twin flames. It's like an ascension boot camp, and it's really going to teach you the tools that you need. It's where you can search around and kind of grab tools here and there. This is like all condensed into one 3-week period, and these are the tools that you need to clear the negativity, to get into alignment, and to shift your consciousness and begin to surrender. It's a very, very intensive and dynamic program, and we're doing this for the second time. It's going to be even better this time. But the first week of that program, we discuss and we work through exercises of how to clear negativity within ourselves and in our connection. So let me explain that a bit, because I feel like there's a lot of confusion. So the one reason why twin flames are unsuccessful at coming into union and staying there in full union, you may reunite, you may meet, and then you may separate or have this runner-chaser dynamic. And it goes deeper than just being rooted in our egos, that runner dynamic, or those ins and outs, and as I call them, when you come back together, check-ins. But in order to really come into lasting union and a true union, you must come into union with yourself. So we talk about the sacred marriage, and the sacred marriage is not just about sacred marriage with the other half of your soul. It's about first marrying yourself and coming into union with yourself. So in order to do that, and before we can get to the alignment phase, we must clear the lines of negativity. So where are the lines of negativity rooted? I know a lot of people don't understand that. So here's where we're going to clarify it. So within you, there's 3 major areas in which the 3 major lines of negativity stem from. Okay, so one, if you're taking notes, it is our past life trauma. Okay, so past life stuff that we've brought in, past life trauma, past life karma. Okay, all of those things can affect the lines of energy in this lifetime, and they are affecting our energy in this lifetime, right? Subconsciously, it's in there. It's in our DNA, okay? The second way that we're carrying negativity that we may be unaware of is through our ancestral bloodline. So we may be aware, as I've said before, of like, our grandparents' plight or our great-grandparents' plight or their struggles or their hardships or their lives in general. But we may not know much about, 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 generations back. We may also know a bit, we may know nothing about our grandparents or our ancestors. And still, those things that they struggled with, that they endured, that they, their karma, their strifes, those things are passed along to us in our DNA. Not all of them, but many of them trickle down through DNA. Also, from our ancestral bloodline, beliefs get passed down, right? And so those are more tangible because usually we're in the know about those. Those are the things that our moms and dads said to us because their moms and dads said to them. Their belief systems that are inherited. So those are the inherited aspects of the ancestral bloodline, the ancestral DNA. So there's those two things. We've got past life, we've got ancestral, and then we have our inner child wounds, which is this life, right? Which is how our core wounds with our parents, right? And like I said, many of those are affected by the ancestral stuff, and they are affected by past life stuff too, because we've chosen, our soul chose our parents in this lifetime because our soul knew that we have certain karma to clear, certain lessons to learn, certain things to endure, certain patterns to repeat so that we do clear these things. But moreover than that, we also have these wounds that form that are not just a reflection of, ancestral stuff that was passed down to your parents or past life stuff that your soul chose. I mean, that's all part of it, but the core stuff, this is what we work on with your shadow work, with your inner child work. That core stuff affects your belief systems. And your beliefs hold they hold energy. So they can be positive beliefs, they can be open-minded, they can be limitless, or they can be fearful and judgmental and negative and scared and worrisome. They can be angry. They can be, just any line of negativity, any energy that's negative that is carried in those belief systems is active within us, whether we realize it or not. So those are the 3 major ways that we're holding the negativity at a cellular level, at a karmic level, and in our beliefs and in our subconscious from our wounding, okay? So you can understand that when 2 twins have their own set of baggage, and when I say baggage, I don't mean just past hurts or, past loves that have broken our hearts. I'm talking about our childhood experiences, our dysfunctional households. I'm talking about the DNA that we've inherited, the ancestral stuff that we've inherited, the karmic things that we have brought into this lifetime, and other traumas and things like that. So we both show up, each twin shows up with their own set of this stuff. And then we come together, and from our belief systems, we mirror the negativity at one another. Okay, so then we hold negativity towards each other. And all of this negativity, the negativity from within ourselves as individuals, and the negativity that we feel towards each other, the limiting beliefs, the judgments, the resentment, the anger, all that stuff, it's all intermarried. Because at the end of the day, when you put it all, you can put it all in one clump. And that clump is called lines of negativity. And those lines of negativity are what repel twins. Okay? So in order to come into union with self, we must clear those lines of negativity within ourselves. And in order to come into union with our twin, we must clear those lines of negativity within ourselves and the negativity that we're feeling towards our twins, whether we're conscious of it or not. So when we're successful at clearing this negativity, and this takes work, this takes tools, this takes awareness, but it can be done, and it's very enlightening, it's very fascinating, and there's so much that I feel like is taught, but most, other than Cassidy Kane, I don't know many teachers that are teaching the tools for you to actually understand how to get to the bottom of your roots of negativity and the lines of negativity. Because until you do understand where it comes from, and you can dig in that deep and start to clear it out and replace those negative energies with new thoughts, new beliefs, positive energy, clearing out the old, replacing it with the new, transmuting the negativity into something new, finding the new belief systems. That's when we start to change our DNA at the cellular level. This is also going to impact, and this is the various segments of my intensive program. This also impacts, you know, how you balance the polarities within yourself, and how you release the attachment in your twin flame connection. But that stuff, we can't get to that stuff, to the lining up, to the balancing the polarities, to the releasing the attachment, until we've cleared the negativity, because negativity is the line of attachment. Negativity is the place where we become imbalanced in the polarities. So it's the place where you need to start from. So if you're starting with anything else, so you may say, oh, I've already done my shadow work. But if you really haven't explored the past life stuff or become aware of some of the ancestral clearing that you may need to do, it's not going to be holistic. And there's probably things that you're going to miss. Like, for example, the big, and this was coming up for me, and I even mentioned it in some videos several months ago, that there was this anger coming up, and I was feeling this anger, hearing it through my clients. Well, look at what's happened in society now. As the feminine energy is rising on the planet, we have had an uprising of female embodiments coming forward and saying, hey, this masculine has not acted in alignment. We will not be suppressed any longer. This is not moral. This is not right. And so we're seeing all these cases of sexual harassment, this expose of the masculine. And this is from, centuries of the masculine, some of the masculine energy on the planet starting to, and gradually over a time, like I said, there's suppression of the feminine energy. There's been like that control, and that's all shifting now. So these male embodiments, these people that we're seeing in the media that are being accused or, are being convicted for their crimes now. Remember, their soul volunteered for that, you guys, and they chose this path. They chose to be forerunners for this movement. That's basically all it is, okay? Because times are going to change, and this is part of this shift of energy. This is saying we're not going to go along in this same rhythm. We're going back to the way it was in ancient times, like no more with the female suppression and this control and this power struggle. It's time to get things balanced. So don't look at the masculine like, oh, they're so bad, we hate them, and these men are despicable. Because remember that at some level their souls volunteered to come in, to play out this karma, to be the examples in our society, so that we can all learn from it, and so that the energy can begin to shift. Remember, in some way, this is helping us to shift collectively. And so in the same right, what I was hearing, what I was feeling even in myself, was that this anger was coming up, this anger towards men, men having more freedom, men having it easier, this hatred towards my twin flame, resentment, anger. And I knew when that stuff was coming up and when I was hearing it from my clients, it was bigger than just this situation. in the in your twin flame dynamic, in my twin flame dynamic, or in this cultural society that we're in these examples that we're seeing in the media. It was bigger than that. And where it was stemming from is past life stuff and where we've been persecuted, and where there was persecution in our past lives, where we were played a role in society in which there was unfair treatment, or there was suppression, or there was power control, or the feminine energy was suppressed. And it's coming from there. It's also coming from our ancestors who dealt with this for much of their lives in different ways, in different cultures, in different societies. And so this is just one example of why you might be feeling something and be like, why am I feeling this? Why am I so angry? Why am I so resentful? Why am I feeling like I've been done wrong, but I really haven't been done that wrong? It seems so magnified. Well, that's it, because there's a lot of underlying things that are coming up to be purged and healed. And so with the past life stuff, past life, we can regress. Okay, we can't always regress for a specific cause or a specific lifetime. Although, a more experienced hypnotherapist might be able to regress you for a cause, but we can't really dictate which lifetime we'll go back to. But when you're in your ascension journey and you're doing the dance with your twin flame, I highly recommend exploring this avenue. Get familiar with Brian Weiss's material and Many Lives, Many Masters. There's a few of his new books that are wonderful. This is really progressive stuff. You can do past life meditations on the web. You can go seek out a hypnotherapist and do it in a hypnosis capacity in a therapist's office, or you can try it from home. I have a past life regression meditation that I give out during my intensive program, and usually the information that comes to us is relevant to the now. And so usually our subconscious mind is going to release to us what we need to know now for our healing. And so that's why it's so important to do this. So that's one way to get some of that stuff into the light and have more of an connect the dots type of experience and aha moments about this. With the ancestral stuff, it doesn't have to be as specific. It could be that you do, find out more about your ancestors and where you came from and all of that, but I don't feel like that's necessary. I do know that can be just more of an energetic clearing, holding space for your ancestors, imagining the plight. I use intuitive guidance to help my clients with this. So often it shows up in the cards for me, and I can kind of direct them in the area of some of the things that they need to clear. And usually they're aware of where those lines of negativity or where those belief systems, or where the stripes or struggles were in their lineage. And then it becomes like the light bulb moment, and then they can work on the energy clearing. And I do give you energy clearing tools for this in my intensive program as well. Then when it comes to the inner child work or the shadow work, first we must identify where the core wounds are. And I've talked a lot about this, and the way my method is, I have you actually call up the memories, the specific memories, and we examine them and the core wound, where it formed, the core traumas. Some of you don't know, and then we ask for your guides and for your subconscious mind to release that information to you, and then sometime over the next few days or weeks or months, it gets released and the memories come forth. And in that, we can begin to heal. We bring the memories to light. We have all sorts of tools between with forgiveness with our parents, integration exercises and 5D meditations, in which you go into the memory and you bring your adult self in, you clear the wound that way. You speak your truth, you nurture your child self, you hold space, and lots of different tools. And more than that, the awareness is like, I always say the awareness is at least 60% of your healing. And so just bringing the memory forth, you're more than halfway there. Okay. And then from that point, like in soul coaching, we identify what that core wound, what belief formed from that wound within you. Because it's not the wound that you carry in active vibration as much as it is the belief. Because the wound's in there, the original trauma, it's in there. Believe me, it's in there, especially if we have not healed it yet. However, we don't even realize that from that wound, we're carrying a belief system that's impacting our life on a day-to-day basis. And it's those belief systems that are calling out for us now to transform, to find new ways, better beliefs, more expansive beliefs, places where we limited ourselves, to now release that and begin to tap into a bigger way of thinking, a higher vibrational way of being. So it's all those, and that's it in a nutshell. So it's all those things together that are going to help you clear the negativity, come into union with yourself, and then essentially, once you understand and master some of the self-love and alignment and energetic, balancing the polarities and shifting your consciousness, once you manage to master some of those things, you will start to see how in your twin flame connection, you will become closer and closer, and things will start to pull like a magnet rather than repel. Okay. And so I know some of you are going to ask, well, does my twin flame need to be doing the work at this level too? And I can also tell you that as you do that work at the deeper level, it will impact the connection. It will start to act as a magnet, and it will bring certain thresholds of awakening to your twin flame. Not in the same way. They may not be actively, consciously doing it the way you are at this deep, deep level, but it will begin to attract the two of you so that you can come together. And those are the first steps towards union. But at first it starts with what I just talked about in this video. So if you are interested in the 3-week program, I highly recommend it. The spots will fill up. We already have, I only have 11 or 12 spots in the class, and there's 3 gone, and I just started putting it out there. I know with the last one that I held in November, I had a waiting list. Not all of you who are on the waiting list are available to do it this round. So we've got some open spots. Sign up early, and I look forward to working with you. If you don't want to do the intensive program but want to work one-on-one, you can check out all of the services on theillumineguru.com. And I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys soon. Happy 2018. Bye.